Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about what it is that actually allows Yone to fit in as a top laner when top lane has sat demon champions that counter him so hard like Jax, Sett, and Volibear. The simple answer is that Yone is able to utilize spacing to the max, and perfected spacing on Yone will win you anything. Instead of playing for all-ins that are coin flips, being able to outspace your opponent is usually the better option until you have no doubt that you will win each all-in. I will build on this more, but the reason why this even came to mind was because I realized that I can be very inconsistent sometimes, and I often die repeatedly in lane instead of playing safer and more strategically, whether you blame that on my ego or simply being careless. Interestingly enough, I am sort of able to understand this phenomenon as I witnessed the same thing in the match against Sett, but obviously we want to avoid going 0-10, so let's break it down in the game. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe. Love you all. The Sett we are up against was NA3 at the time of the game, so pretty scary, and it's definitely not an easy matchup. For runes, I'm bringing Shield Bash and Bone Plating with Ignite since all the PTA top laners take that, and we might as well too. I like to take this bush against champs that will likely walk up to you so you can get some free Q poke, and they generally back off just like so. The highest realm of Yone is being able to trade with the enemy but take no damage, achieving so through outranging with Q and W with the help of E's bonus movement speed. Of course, it's not possible in many cases and extremely difficult in others, as you will see. Level 1 is surprisingly dangerous in a lot of the Yone matchups like Darius, Urgot, Fiora, and Sett. You can think of your Q as a shield that fends off the enemy, but when you use it, the shield will be down for a duration, and that's when your opponent utilizes that duration to gap close and trade on you. Notice here that Sett is really far back until I use Q on the wave before he walks up. As I go to CS, he walks up so we can't get minion here and instead back off from minions and hit him then. We get a Q auto and he hits our bone plating before dragging onto the bush. The reason why I'm not chasing him here is because Yone can't beat a W start Sett because he will just one-shot you when it's maxed, and I'm not going to gamble on flash. His W does a ton of damage for the edge and how stacked it is, but I guess that's PTA, and we get lane prio because his W is on CD. We are constantly poking at him with Q, and Sett wants to get us with level 2 E, but we get level 2 first and utilize Q3 to avoid this. As I said earlier, missing Q often gets you punished, so Sett chases me after I miss, and I realize that I'm in range of his E, so I turn on him. Sett probably could have used flash here, but I think I would have reacted in time, so he didn't. Finally, we W flash to kill him, and he does not expect this because he's already in range of my W, and my true intention was actually Sett flashes after his 1-2, but it wasn't enough. In his harder matchups, Yone just isn't designed to win the all-ins when even, and getting things like the health advantage while poking with Q is lane winning. And honestly, with that, the hardest part of laning is over just because he died. But if I had died, it would be a complete 180, and honestly, I might have been the one to end up 0-10 if that was the case. Coming back, you know how I talked about inconsistency and repeatedly dying? Well, Sett is exemplifying this, and you can tell from his engage onto me. Sett is egoing this fight, either because he thinks his champ is better, or he is just for fun, but neither of those things are good for climbing. Once again, starting with not only a health advantage this time, but also 3 daggers, I'm not scared of him at all, because Sett has no flash for hitting his W, so he is sent back to his fountain. Even again, he goes for it, but it didn't go that well for us this time because I needed to drag further, and I decided not to, but I failed to react to his E when he pulled us, which was a miscalculation and I guess kind of trolling. I was a bit drowsy, maybe I was too tired, I don't know. I usually can though. Next up, Bel'Veth was going to come around to dive us, but Jax was on the way as well. Instead of giving them the chance to dive before Jax gets here, we just engage first with ult and stall Sett to death. This pretty much forces Bel'Veth to leave. Sett is only strong because he can stun you with E and guarantee his W, but if it's not stacked and E can't stun you, there is nothing stopping you from just Eing into his face when you are ahead. Once again here, he does this troll engage, but we have Q3, so he dies either way. This might all seem really troll, but I've done this too before because I just keep thinking I can outplay until finally he stops, but often it's too late when you come to this realization. At this point, we just continually use the strategy of just eating into him and he is forced to base. This process repeats until Bel'Veth tries to gank again, but a 2v2 happens when she tries to turn on Jax. We also take out Sett by ulting last second when he probably lets down his guard, not expecting anything since he was so close to basing. With both of them dead, we take first turret and Yasuo comes to challenge me too. Q3 to cancel out the CC, and another Q3 to stop him from getting away. Sett also didn't let me base until I was able to purchase my second item, which was kind of funny to me. After pushing top wave, I noticed that Yasuo was overstaying, so I go mid to collect the crashing wave and force Yasuo to give kill to Orianna by inting turret. There wasn't much to do from that point on, so I just farm, poke, and take Herald. Sett almost gets me here, but since I had shield bow, I actually wasn't scared at all. However, I did mess up by flash engaging when I did not see the whole view when my team came to bail me out. I think leaving was just the better option there. I walked mid to help my team with Drake, but when I tried to split bot with Herald, Bel'Veth was sitting in a bush, followed by a Yasuo ult. I did manage to kill Yasuo, but my E was used a bit off at the end there, so I ended up dying. When I respawned, I decided to split bot more because team is all topside and Baron also spawned. Sett has no way of matching me, so they would need 2 or more people to stop me. If that happened and they overinvest, then Baron would be ours to take. Repeating the same thing, Bel'Veth tries to kill me when I'm up a whole item and 3 levels. The fact that she has the audacity to do so does seem to speak volumes about the champion, as she was probably just expecting to win by just clicking E on me. We also utilize Krugs to kill Sett off vision. The game is essentially over by now, where we take top tier 2 and join our team for soul before the enemy FFs as we are sieging 5-man mid. As a conclusion though, I feel like the problem of inting on repeat is easily fixable as long as you don't go on autopilot or take your first death lightly. It does take conscious realization and enforcement, but you should take the game seriously anyways. Remember, no matter how hard the melee matchup, if you can space to the fullest, you can always win, even if it's a little hard. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe. Bye bye.